He's the great Cardinal wide receiver. He's Larry Fitzgerald back on the program. Larry, how are you?
Doing fantastic, Dan. How are you today?
I'm doing okay. Are you on a speakerphone there?
Yes, sir. Conference call.
Okay, can you pick up and we just have a regular conversation?
I would love to, but there's no receiver.
Wait, you're the receiver.
And I have no receiver.
So
how crazy is that?
Wow, a receiver with no receiver. So are there people around there listening?
Yes, sir.
Wait, is this? Wait, why do we need this?
I don't have a handheld. This is the only speaker I have.
All right. Are you in camp now?
No. I'm still in Minneapolis. Going back to camp tomorrow.
If you're, how is it when rookies go to camp? When you watch these guys coming in, what are you looking for with that?
Well, just guys that are able to pick up the system quick. When you're a rookie, a lot of times a lot is thrown at you very quickly. A lot is expected of you, especially as a high draft pick. So I just wanted to see how they pick up. If their skills are refined, or if they, what ways I can help them to become better pros and pick up things quickly.
Have you talked to Honey Badger?
Oh yeah, he's a good kid. He's a good kid. I think he got a lot of bad rap. Once you get to talk to him and see his work ethic and how into football he really is. I mean, it will definitely change your the way you look at it. He's been working so hard. He's one of those guys that the football just always tends to find him in practice. He's just truly opportunistic, football player with a really high football IQ.
Can he cover you?
He's done a good job. He's done a good job. He's been playing inside, playing a little safety, playing a little outside. So he's all over the field. It's hard to find him.
I'm thinking about just the teams in your division, Larry. I mean, everybody has got a great defense. Yeah, even the Rams, sneaky great defense.
Yeah, all these teams have done a great job of improving and solidifying their defenses. Jeff Fisher did a great job coming in last year with St. Louis. Obviously, the San Francisco 49ers went to the Super Bowl. Seattle went deep into the playoffs, getting beat by Atlanta. But all these teams really hang their hats on the defensive side of the ball, and that's no different than us. Our defense finished strong last year. We have a tremendous group coming back as well. So there's going to be some tough battles in the NFC West this year.
Is Carson Palmer the starter?
Yeah, he's the clear-cut starter. He took all the reps as number one this offseason. We are fully behind him, and he actually came up to Minnesota and trained with us. The whole group, all the quarterbacks, all the receivers were up here. It's big for us to be together. When it's not mandatory to be together, so we're picking up steam.
We were talking about this with Ryan Braun, that since he got suspended, should he give up the 2011 MVP and give it to Matt Kemp? You finished second in the Heisman balloting to, I think, Jason White. Let's say something came out. Now, hypothetically, would you want a Heisman if something came out about Jason White?
No, absolutely not. I feel like there would be a negative stigma attached to that Heisman, forever. It would always have an asterisk. He won it because of, if I didn't win it outright the first time, I wouldn't want it, second time around. It's just not. It wouldn't feel good for me.
I know that you're joining us. You're promoting EA Sports Nutrition, the EAS Sports Nutrition. But how responsible are you? We hear this with athletes all the time. I didn't know what I put into my body. How responsible are you? No,
we're 100% responsible for anything that we take, and that's the thing that I take such peace of mind with. That 100% of EAS supplements are certified and safe. So for the last 10 years, I've been in the NFL. Anything I've ever taken from the recovery drinks, I know that I can go out and play and perform. I'm going to pass any test that the NFL has for me.
Well, it's also I don't know if the NFL, if they came out with their own supplements, do you think we're headed towards that, where these leagues will have a partnership with somebody where you say, if it doesn't have the NFL shield on it or seal of approval, don't take it?
Well, they already have a governing body that does all the testing and certification, and so exactly they have a big list in the locker room of all the banned substances, things that are banned, and they also have a hotline. If you have a product that you want to be tested by the NFL supplement company, they can look it over, but they never give you a definitive answer. If it's questionable, they say, we don't see anything in this that will be a red flag, but we're not responsible if you do come up with a positive test. So I mean, they're very clear on what they want and what they don't want. And if there's any gray area, I would stay away from it.
Larry Fitzgerald, Cardinals wide receiver, joining us courtesy of EAS Sports Nutrition, Dan Patrick Show. How has hitting changed since, say, your rookie year?
It's changed significantly. Obviously with the new collective bargaining agreement, practice are much less physical. We're not doing much hitting anymore. And obviously during the games, I can always tell guys are aiming much lower now, to try to stay away from these big collisions that have, had guys been hurt and getting substantial fines. So I see a big difference in the way games are being played and obviously officiated.
How would you feel? I just saw where the Jadeveon Clowney hit last year in the bowl game on the Michigan running back. He would have been ejected with the new rules now with college football. Could you see where we got that? We had that in the NFL, that if you have a hit that's questionable, that you could get ejected on the spot?
If it was flagrant enough where I think that, it deemed to be kicked out of the game, I think that's something that should be looked at. But on that particular play, there's no way I feel that hit was done maliciously or anything different. The running back was simply trying to take the handoff, and he got past the guard that quickly where he was able to make the collision. It just looked violent because his helmet came off. Those hits happen every single week, but I don't think that one would justify being tossed out the game.
Yeah, because I don't know what defenseless is. If he's got the ball, are you defenseless?
No. When the running back takes the ball, I feel like he's in a position where he can make that guy miss. Now when you're running a route and you don't see a defender and the ball's hanging in the air and the guy hits you on the chin, then you're in a truly defensive position at that point. But running backs, once you have the ball in your hands, you're aware of your surrounding. Can
you sense a big hit?
Yes, you definitely can. You can feel it. They talk about feeling. Hearing the footsteps, you know when the guy's closing on you, and you kind of have a sixth sense after you've been playing for a while.
The guy that hits you, that you're angry, that you'll always be angry at, is there one that stands out where somebody went above and beyond?
Well, man, Rodney Harrison, my rookie year, man, that guy right there, still to this day when I see him, I quiver. He stepped on my fingers. Kneed me in my head, he speared me. I mean, whatever he could do to get a competitive advantage, physically, mentally, he would do it. And that was 2004. Thank goodness he's retired now and on TV. But he was definitely tough to deal with.
Wait! I work with this guy every Sunday. Is there something you'd like to pass on?
I know you do, and I like him as a person, but don't like him as a football player.
Larry, how could you not take this personally if he did all those things?
He did it to get you out of your game, and a lot of times you saw that guys would be flustered by the things he would do, and that played right into his hands.
He stepped on your fingers.
Yeah, he stepped on my fingers. It might have been. I know he's your friend, so it might have been inadvertent.
No, I don't think it was. No, knowing Rodney, it probably wasn't. Hey, great to talk to you again, and good luck. Are you guaranteeing the playoffs this year?
No guarantees.
Oh, Larry, come on. Wait, do you give just your dad the headline stuff so that can help him when he's writing a story?
No, he's gonna make his own headlines. I'll let him do that.
Good to visit with you again, Larry. Thanks for joining us.
Always a pleasure. Have a good day.
All right, Larry Fitzgerald on speakerphone. Okay. Paulie's telling me that I should calm down on that. Fritzy, did you know it was a speakerphone?
I did not.
Okay, now I'm not angry.
No, it's okay. It sounded clear to me on the line, and if I thought that he was on a speakerphone at the time I was talking to him, I would have asked
How did
him,
you not know that was a speakerphone?
It just didn't sound like a speakerphone in the time I was talking to him.
How did I know right away?
I don't know if it sounds different once we run him through the board. I should have spoke with him maybe longer. In the time that I was talking to him, I didn't hear a speaker effect, but then then we would have had to decide, do we cancel the interview altogether? Because it sounds like there wasn't a second option at that moment.
Well, I wasn't going to cancel it. I always feel like Charlie's Angels, where they're listening on the speakerphone.
Not ideal.
Speakerphone bothers me no matter what. If you're calling to somebody and they got you on speakerphone, you go, wait a minute, come on. And I guess the people from EAS were sitting around listening so we could talk about the product, which is fine. I'll give them a written transcript, or I'll give them a copy of the interview. Speakerphone. I do like Larry, but I'll let that one slip by the goalie.